Her left there, Gabriella Peruzzi. They will know that their chance with the defection of Skari has increased. We think that Claudia Kunzel will go well, also Evie SACHENBACHER and Becky Scott for Canada. Those are some of the names as we go away, Torin, and again, very important to get out in front here.
Yes, they're going to try to get out and maintain and just lead the race and not get out of problems.
Now the temperature this morning, -4, -5, so again, no particular problems in terms of ski preparation.
No, it should be very straightforward for them. Classic technique is probably where we're going to see the biggest opportunity for good skis, but I think that they really got everything dialed in for most of the teams.
Now a 9:30 start in the morning at race time, which is pretty early, some would say unnecessarily early. Sore throat, she was second, Christina SMIGUN was third, and Claudia Kunzel in fourth place. Now Claudia Kunzel, I haven't picked her up, I've seen Viola Bauer wearing 14, interesting because she's been suffering from the flu, and at the moment to see her up that high is quite encouraging. Maybe SACHENBACHER.
Early favorites, just racing super smart, just staying in the game, near the lead but not in the lead, so that they're getting a little bit of the draft effect. Look for big things from SMIGUN and SACHENBACHER and Becky Scott. They're running about 4th, 5th, and 6th right now.
Nagakina from almost nowhere, she's moved up, leading Peruzzi. Hilda Pedersen third on that right-hand file as they take the bottom turn.
10 racers all within 2 seconds. This is going to make for some dynamite racing in the last 2.5K.
Yes. Becky Scott still there, Shevchenko, Burakina, who's not really done anything, and Majic is in 10th place. You can just see her, she's the penultimate racer at the back of that group there. Becky Scott just weaving her way into a challenging position, and look at this for a fight. Peruzzi back in the lead, Pedersen going with her as well.
For those racers not completely sure of their form coming to the last 150 meters, this has got to be the time. They have to be thinking, now I got to make a move.
Claudia Kunzel on the left at the back of the pack, trying to join on there. Kirsi Valima of Finland. And the attack going now. Becky Scott trying to put herself in a strong position. Now, the one thing you don't want to do is to lead coming down the hill into the stadium.
Oh, absolutely. How this course goes with these long, quick downhills, they're going to be reaching 60 kilometers an hour. You definitely get a draft effect sitting in behind somebody. I just see Becky Scott right now, she was just moving up there. She was just trying to get into position, just doesn't want anything to happen, and she wants to be able to cover everybody else's move.
So the Olympic pursuit silver medalist finding a position, putting pressure on Peruzzi. Look at Christina SMIGUN wearing 2 on the right-hand side. She's now putting herself into the race. Becky Scott, who looks forward to getting married in the summer to your teammate Justin Wadsworth. In fact, it's going to be a summer of Canadian weddings with Sarah Renner getting married to her boyfriend, the Canadian alpine skier Tommy Grandy. So I thought the interesting thing for Becky as she takes the lead was she said, oh yes, but the first baby's definitely going to be born with a Canadian passport. And that's Nagakina going down. And that's the reason why Nagakina finds herself at the back there, so she's got to work her way all the way round. But that's a great picture there. It really shows the remorselessness of this climb.
Yeah, they're going to be feeling their leg down.
So it's Becky Scott moving up here with Peruzzi on the far side there. It's Hilda Pedersen. This is where those who don't want to be involved in a sprint have got to make their move.
Yes, this is where they're really just going to try to throw huge amounts of lactate acid in the legs. You can see it's breaking up there. I think this might be the move that Becky Scott's going for. You can see it's looking like SMIGUN's able to carry it, and so is Peruzzi's able to answer the challenge. But behind them, there's a moment of doubt, I believe.
Becky Scott looks okay. Peruzzi trying to put the pressure on again. Peruzzi, distance will be no problem for her. And she looked very strong as she went past Becky Scott. Becky Scott tucking into third place now. Christina SMIGUN, she's shadowing, isn't she?
Oh, definitely. Christina SMIGUN just looks like a tiger ready to pounce.
Does she look like the smart racer in this race?
I think she's looking very, very smart. She hasn't had to do any work, but she stayed out of trouble and right near the lead.
Becky Scott having to work a little bit now to stay with the front two. And also there's Zavrielova, who I thought went through something of a bad patch, has put herself back in medal contention there. In fourth place, just behind Becky. This could come down to a race for 2 sets of medals, gold and silver and bronze.
If they keep it like this, though, I think it's just going to come down to it's going to be very, very interesting.
Hilda Pedersen, very impressed. She's on the far side wearing the white hat in the red strip for Norway. Very much in the fight. She is the main Norwegian. Zavrielova in traffic problems. Becky Scott getting in her way as well, as Peruzzi was the real benefactor of that moment of confusion that happened behind. Zavrielova third. Becky Scott just dropping back now, and the shoulders are beginning to rock now.
Yeah, we'll have to see. She really has to. You have to stay tough right here on this course. You can see SACHENBACHER trying to cover that move. Peruzzi's really made it obvious what she's going to do. She just wants to grind it out of people. She's really, really going for it. I guess that's the way she thinks that she can win this. 1,100
meters to go, and Peruzzi with SMIGUN, who is going to wait and wait and wait. SMIGUN, who has got a kick. And who's that down on the track there? Can't actually see.
Number 69, Svetlana Pankova.
Well, not involved at the business end of the race here, but it's SMIGUN and Zavrielova. All credit to the bronze medalist from the 15-kilometer classic race. That was her first major senior championship, and she's taking on Peruzzi. And look who's moving up. Burakina also quiet as Becky Scott tries to counter-attack, and she's being preceded there by Evie Sachenbacher for Germany.
Zavrielova really going for it now. Just like we were talking about, having to try to really push over those hills.
That's a Felix Gottwald move that we saw against Sampalainen. Right over the top, accelerate, foot down, try to get away. And now the question's got to be asked of Christina SMIGUN on the left of your picture. Hilda Pedersen on the right there. Boy, is she racing toughly.
Looking at it now, I'm thinking it's really looking good for Evie Sachenbacher and both Christina SMIGUN. Becky Scott's a little far back for me. Olga Zavrielova, though, maybe she can just ride this out. They're coming into the stadium here in about 30 seconds. This is what we were talking about, the huge kick at the finish.
Here goes Christina SMIGUN, and look at the tempo. SMIGUN goes absolutely storming. She took that roller and really pushed over it. That was a brilliant piece of acceleration. But watch for Sachenbacher on the right of your screen there, really charging now. The sprint medalist of the Olympic Games, Christina SMIGUN for Estonia. She's got 2 silvers. She's bidding for gold. Germany with Sachenbacher and Kunzel in the fight there. But it's SMIGUN who is the champion of the pursuit. Sachenbacher takes silver. Zavrielova takes the bronze. Ahead of Pedersen and Peruzzi. Becky Scott in 6th place. Ahead of Burakina, Nagakina, Shevchenko. And Kunzel in the end down in something like 9th equal place. What a burn towards the end. But we said she was the smart racer, and she was.
It was amazing that little spurt that she did like a speed skater there, just accelerating away from the top skiers in the world.
Not by much, and Evie Sachenbacher was getting closer with every stride. She needed about another 10, 15 meters, Sachenbacher, but the finish line in time, and it was a really positive move. Well, that's our first taste of the new pursuit, the duathlon, or the skiathlon, as the International Ski Federation would like us to call it from here on in. What do you think, Torren?
I think this shows why this is such a viable way of racing. Just a great start, super quick tempo. You got to see who is the best skier at both techniques and had the awesome finish at the end.
And this is the sort of race which is going to attract audiences, particularly in your part of the world, I would have thought.
Oh, I think so. This is just, it gives it that little roller derby effect. Just true racing. It's like Carl Swenson said, you know, we've got some time trials and now it's time for the real racing when he's talking about these mass start races.
what you see is what you get, and Christina SMIGUN, look how close that was there for the silver medal between SACHENBACHER and SAVIALOVA. In fact, I'm not unconvinced. I think they've got, at the moment, exactly the same time, and we haven't got the official standings as yet, because SAVIALOVA and SACHENBACHER were virtually inseparable going across the line. Chance to look at this in slow motion, but it'd be really nice to see this as a freeze frame. SMIGUN. Well, that's 3 medals for her at these championships for the Estonian. And I guess Andrus Veerpalu was the man who was commanding all the Estonian headlines, but guess who's going to be on the front and the middle, as well as the back pages of all those Estonian newspapers?